Welcome back. As we earlier said, we have with us over the phone Dr. Hassan Wageeh, Professor of Political Science. Good morning, Dr. Wageeh.
Good morning.
If you could kindly lower the volume of your TV set, please, Dr. Wageeh.
I think.
Okay. How are you doing, sir? If you could please.
I'm just fine. Thank you.
Okay, our pleasure. If you could shed light over the early life and education of late President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, may his soul rest in peace.
Yes, of course, the President Khalifa, who we mourn today, the whole Arab world
Of course.
is mourning, the entire world is actually mourning him. Yes, he had a long career of education inside the Arab Emirates and outside the Arab Emirates with high advanced schools of learning and knowledge in the West, and he obtained many certificates. So he was informed, and he learned a lot, and he really deployed his knowledge to serve his country in all domains.
Right. We are talking about a man who was one actually of the greatest leaders. He died after a long journey of giving, during which he offered a lot to his country, a lot to the neighboring countries. Under his tenure, the UAE became a model for modernization, for development, for integrity. It took a leading role in the region. So this was not a normal man. He was not a normal leader.
Yes, he was exceptional for the achievements he did for his country and his role in the Arab world. And we have to say that he has a special status for Egyptians. Egyptians really admire him very much, admire his role. Especially you can see trending these days when Egyptians are retrieving his picture while he came here with his military dress in 1973 war to participate in liberating our occupied land with Emirates soldiers, big number of them. So at that time he was a crown prince, and his father sent him, and he was very excited and very enthusiastic to defend the Arab land with us and to liberate our occupied land with us. So Egyptians remembered him, and you have many pictures of him while he was having his military dress, fighting along with his Egyptian brother. So he has this status, special status when it comes to Egypt. And of course, Arab Emirates really supported Egypt in all the crises we have gone through, and that is appreciated by Egyptians. So I think he has, when it comes to his status in the Arab world and in Egypt, it is a great status, and it shows that Egyptians consider him an exceptional leader who really stood. And he also has a role in the world. He supported about 90 countries all over the world when it comes to relief, helping people in crises, in earthquakes, and charity and relief are two important words that really characterized a lot of his CV. So this is very respected all over the world.
That's true. We're going to touch on his stance towards Egypt later on, but we need to know about his duties and achievements during the life of his father.
Yes, he was with his father. His father is a great figure when it comes to the feeling of Egyptians, and he was one of the people who really witnessed all his father's statements tried to deploy what his father said, and he recommended that all his sons, the father recommended that all his sons, among them is President Khalifa also, to know that Egypt's role is very important, and we have to look at Egypt with all support, with all cooperation, because when you have an Arab nation getting together, we can help ourselves to meet the challenges facing this Arab nation. The Arab nation is really exposed to many challenges, has been exposed to these challenges, and we still have, after this global war, Russian-Ukrainian war, I think this would create, report said, many challenges would be facing all the world, including the Arab world. If the Arab world is not united, there should be a problem. So I think he played a role. His father and all his brothers really tried to get together and to cement the relations among the Arab states to face the challenges.
Right. Also, President Abdel Fattah Sisi have said, mentioning when he was talking, reflecting his condolences, he added that Sheikh Khalifa loved Egypt dearly and he was a loyal friend in all circumstances and throughout all conditions. And we also were the same with the United Arab Emirates. How did his wisdom reflect notably in time of crisis?
Yes, this is, we have seen how in this revolution, as I mentioned, 1973 war was a great landmark, but also the Emirates stood firm with Egypt after the 30th of June revolution. And when the whole world was not understanding what is happening well inside Egypt, and what is the nature of the fight that took place, or the conflict that took place. Actually, Arab Emirates and President Khalifa tried to clarify that for the entire world and try to explain how the fight was against extremism, against radicalism, that really is not matching with the Egyptian nature. So when we had this revolution on 30th of June, I think this is very important that some people like Khalifa and people in Saudi Arabia and the other countries who really have good floors for Western media, they really played a very important role to explain what's happening in Egypt. And by the way, this diplomatic role also is very important. And let me remember that in 1973, his father did the same thing with Egypt. When he saw that 1973 war is being discovered and there is disinformation deliberately used in the Western media, he asked many foreign correspondents and many foreign journalists to play fight and to tell what is happening on the battlefield where Egypt was achieving victory.
Right. We are talking about an exceptional leader, a leader that is couldn't be repeated once again. If you could shed light over his role in the Renaissance of his effecting Renaissance in the United Arab Emirates, transforming the United Arab Emirates into one of the meccas of modernization and development.
Yes, this is a very important question actually, because many people look at the Arab Emirates from inside and it really acted as a great model of decision making. You have 7 semi-autonomous cities and you have 7 rulers. So I think This is very important model that you should contemplate because in the Arab world we need teamwork, and I think when it comes to the internal affairs of the Arab Emirates, we can see this role model for decision making by all the rulers. They know what to do when it comes to achieving stability and development in their country, and I think they have precedence in so many things, and they acted as a good model when it comes to management, when it comes to convening international conferences, dealing with international universities and centers of research. I think they are opening up in a way that would really create another scheme.
Right. How do you assess the Egyptian Emirati deeply rooted ties over the year? If we could stage them, the development of this very deeply rooted ties between both countries.
Yes, as I have said, it's a long history, our long history, or the history that we lived and we have witnessed. As I've told you, yes, they were partners in the October War. They were partners to help us after the June 30th of June revolution. They really, when it comes to mega projects and helping investments to grow, they had a very good share when it comes to their existence in Egypt as investors too. So they consider Egypt as their second country, and we consider our Emirates as our second country too. So you have, when you are talking about the Egyptians who really work in the Arab Emirates, and you can listen to their stories about how they felt at home when it comes to this. I think this is very telling about the long relationship between Egypt and the Arab Emirates.
Right. Talking about a man like that, a man who have effected all these wonders and have shared in promoting and developing with a renaissance of his own state and other neighboring countries, and have been a backbone and a supporting leader to his brotherly nations around him and the leaders around him. If you would like to shed light over his character, personality, his characteristics, how he was brought up to be that particular strong leader by his father.
Yes, I think one of the most important things is to be near to the people. The level of humanity was cultivated to the extent that you can see, as I said, the two words which are really associated with his CV, also relief and charity. And his efforts were there in almost 90 countries all over the world, where there are crises, where there are certain situations that people need. This is what we call in negotiations transcendence of the negotiator, that they feel what others could feel when it comes to trouble. So I think this is one of the most important characteristics that a leader should have.
Right. Professor Hassan Wageeh, you are a professor of political science. We'd like to thank you, sir, so much talking to The Breakfast Show. And we're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue The Breakfast Show, so stay with us.